Today we're going to look at cutting down booklets so that they will fit into a Midori Traveller's Notebook. Now this is a Midori Traveller's Notebook refill. It's lovely paper, it's quite expensive. This is a pack of 3 Moleskine large cahiers, considerably cheaper than this. The paper's not as good, but if you're writing with pencil, or if you're just writing in rough, or if you're writing in biro, it's not going to be a big deal for you. So these are way more cost effective than this. The difficulty is they're too wide. They are 13 centimetres wide rather than 11, which is what you need for the Midori. You can also get something in A5, which is another 2 centimetres again too wide. But if you have access to A5 books, or if you have access to Moleskine sized books, they're all the same height as the Midori Traveller's Notebook, and you will probably find that buying these and cutting them down is a more cost effective way to keep your notebook filled. So, how do you cut it? Well, here is the book, and we're going to be cutting it down. You can use a Stanley knife or a craft knife for this. Don't try and use a guillotine, at least don't use a home model guillotine. An industrial one would be fine, and that's probably what they'll do if you ask Staples to do this for you. They'll charge you money as well. The most effective way to do this at home is to use one of these. It's a rotary cutter. It's used typically for cutting out material, but it works beautifully on paper. There is a little plastic guard here. Different models will work in different ways, but ultimately you are going to pull back this plastic to expose a very, very sharp cutting disc, which will go through, well, it will go through this whole booklet in fairly short order. So what we need to do, and I've done this ahead of time, is to take the book and to, using a ruler, measure 11 centimetres across near the top and near the bottom, and what we're then going to do is put down the ruler so that it's aligned against the 2 marks, and we are going to cut along that line with the rotary cutter. I'll show you how that works in a moment, but first of all, just 1 or 2 points of caution. This is not an ordinary ruler. This is a very thick stainless steel edged ruler. You can also use a metallic one, but this is specially made for use with one of these. So have a look in your craft supply store for a stainless steel cutting ruler. If this is the first time you're doing it as well, if this goes badly for you, you've basically ruined a book. So what I would suggest you do is move the ruler further over there and have what a golfer might call a practice swing first. So cut along the line there just to get the hang of how it's going to work for you. Now what I'm going to do though is I'm going to go straight in and do it. Now you'll notice that I'm holding the ruler down, and in fact I'm holding the ruler down quite hard, because what I don't want to happen from now on is for this ruler to move at all. Now I am going to be moving this blade right in against the side here. I'm not cutting yet, I'm just running it lightly along the top. When I do start cutting it, I'm going to be pressing down and just pressing lightly to the left as well. This hand mustn't move. Now, the mistake that people make is to really press down very hard on this with the first swing. You don't need to. You don't have to do it in one go. In fact, you'll struggle to do it in one go. You can sweep the thing backwards and forwards a few times and you'll get there. You would use a very similar technique if you were using a standing knife. You just cut in the one direction a number of times. Again, keeping this hand absolutely still. So, here we go, the moment of truth. Now, I'm cutting on both swings, the left swing and the right swing, and if I stop you can see each swing's just taking a few sheets out, but I'm just going to keep going and going and going, and when you've done this a couple of times you'll get a feel from when you're getting there. You can feel the card at the other end as the blade slices through it. We're done. Move the ruler out of the way and you can see there I've got a nice firm straight edge. Now what you'll find is if you're doing this with a Moleskine, you've got this weird flappy bit here that's glued at one edge. What I would do with this is I would run a little bead of glue down that edge there, hold it together, and then you've got a pocket in the back as well. So that's how you can save money on cutting down cheaper booklets to make your own. And you will find that that's a very worthwhile exercise, and once you've invested in this and in this, you're going to hit break even fairly quickly if you do any amount of writing.